Okay. So. Okay, alright. Welcome to Misconduct versus the sneaky Skulks. With an unknown player. Whatever, it's an NSL problem. Hopefully now these people are ready. And we can get this game underway. What are the maps that we're supposed to be playing? You know? Tram, Mineral, and Caged. The three maps. Starting with Tram, ended on Caged. If we get there. So, it's just, you know, play a video. So yeah, that's Tram. And these are your teams. Misconduct versus the sneaky Skulks. So, starting off in shipping, the Marine team. And up in the warehouse, we have unknown player going Gorge. And I'm not exactly sure who that is, so that's kind of awkward. Anyway, pretty standard stuff from the Marines. We've got 3 people on the right side. 2 pushing up to cap ET fast. They do have 2 Skulks on them, although Rusty gets a bite in on both. Pikeack with a little bit of warping. He's going to find his way down and nearly gets that ambush off on Spring. But not going to be able to get through the lane onto the res. Alright, we got the Gorge up in north, just getting some clogs down. Meanwhile, Heracles is pushing up into server where they do have an unbuilt node, and there's nobody there to deny Heracles. So he's just going to be left to kill that. And going there now isn't going to buy the res node any extra time. Rusty gets a pick off on Loam coming into hub. So that does allow Rusty through onto the res lane. Turts has 2 Skulks. They go a bit disjointed into that fight, although without meds, Blowblitz does manage to pick off Turts. He opts to go back though, instead of forward onto the res, and this Gorge, unfortunately, going to be found by Heracles, and even if he needed a way out, I think Spring would have been there to pinch him. Heracles has 2 health, because right now there is no commander. Star is outbuilding, no meds on the field. Aliens do save platform though. They did manage... They lose this as well? No, okay. So Aliens did lose server, but it was completely uncontested on their half. Meanwhile, the Marine team just getting 2 arms labs and going armor 1 and weapons 1 at the same time. They are on 6 RTs, and there has been very little res pressure as these Skulks just can't find their way through the lanes right now. Spring does get picked off in North, however. That should allow Skulks to get through to the res. One's rotating back to deal with Zaphod, who might get baited out by that, and he does. Zaphod goes down. But now Loman Heracles up into the Marine main. Spring is back on res defense, finds Plobits. Does manage to save that res lane for now. As Weapons 1 finishes. Armor 2's already 30% done also. And finally, Aliens do kill an RT, so Marine's down to 5. But Aliens not looking great with one of their 2 RTs slowly just bleeding to death in platform. Aliens trying to get their 3rd Veil up. It's a pretty big difference in how much you see with Aura in that situation, but Tuts and Zaphod, Tuts just get picked while Zaphod just watches on. And they do get cleaned up, but at the cost of 4 Skulks. That's pretty damn favorable fight for the Marine team. Another Gorge coming up. Not sure what they plan to do with that. But again, 2-2 is pretty much Armor 2's up. Or it should be for this next engagement, which will make a big difference. That Gorge nearly getting caught out in the vent by Spring. Again, it's 3 Marines up in North, and the Skulks just go one by one. Not the way to take that engagement. And the Gorge is just going to be left. Does land some spits on Zaphod, but there's still 3 Marines here. Heracles is rotating in from North as well. So, looks like that's going to be the GG. As expected, the Div 1 team, Code of Misconduct, does come out on top in that fight. And there was there's not much to really say. Aliens left a lot of their res unguarded. They didn't really pack together to clean up the Marines. They did win some engagements. As you can see though, Marines 100% accuracy and efficiency on med packs, but 7 med packs. There were basically no meds spent just to get the double arms lab and pump upgrades. The alien team, yeah, they took these 2 nodes. They had a Gorge in North, but no Gorge on the res. And then just no Skulks at all to stop Heracles just walking on up. So there's not much you can really do in a situation where you have no res and the other team has it all. So maybe they'll fare a bit better on the Marine side, where they have the ability to, you know, just shoot Skulks instead. How much ping does Pike get? He doesn't even have a high ping. He's just dropping some packets here and there. So basically just waking. Don't look at wake and then say waking. Waiting on Sneaky Skulks to ready up for the second round on Tramp. I don't really know what we're going to see out here. Excuse me. Out of that team. But I'm expecting Cody Misconduct's going to be aggressive with the Gorge and try and get a tunnel down to claim a decent portion of the map. And honestly, Warehouse to Mez, pretty good. Or honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to just take repair from server. Or hell, maybe even AT from Warehouse. Right, they've readied up. So, Code of Misconduct versus the Sneaky Skulks. Round 2. And you know, when I say stuff about starting in Warehouse or server, I always forget that this is an option. So, spawning down in shipping is the alien team with their Gorge. Got a pretty standard split out of the Marines. 2-1-2. Com is out building the arms lab. And Plobit gets the first kill on Loam. But being parasited, he's going to have a difficult time getting through hub with Heracles just waiting there for the ambush. Wake. And a nice spot to get an ambush off in server room. Does manage to do it, but takes a lot of damage, and Rusty will clean him up. Does manage to land a bite before he dies. But Spring and Heracles sneaking up through north. Plobit gets caught out on the corner. And Heracles goes base, and Spring definitely wasn't ready for that one. And Com's going to jump out for 2 Skulks in his base. He does go down, but the Skulks are hurt. Although Spring on 5 health. Wake's rotating in. Heracles is low as well now. Spring dies. Wake dies. So now it's just left to Loam, who with 40 health might be able to clean that Marine, but I think that's about all they're going to get out of this. But of course behind that gives the alien team the time to expand, and they've expanded both sides, and they're up to 4 nodes, which puts them ahead of Marines right now. Marines are opting for a second IP and armory at this point to get a welder on that hurt IP. At least expect that's what their plan is. And they do have armor 1. And in fact, Tuts all the way up in the server room. I expect this is where that aggressive tunnel is going to be hidden at the back. But Rusty has cut the chain. Although with this tunnel being unbuilt in main base for shipping, Tuts will have to deal with this Marine by himself because there isn't a Skulk anywhere near him. And no meds mean that Rusty does die to the Gorge. And that's pretty damn important because now aliens just have a tunnel straight up into this north lane of Rose. Marines just getting picked off as they try to get through north tunnels. 2 Skulks ambushing. Makes it pretty damn hard for 1 Marine to get through. Mines are started. That'll give them some security. Now as 2 Marines head up towards server, Heracles just has the parasites on these Marines, so they're both aware he's here. As Loam finds his way into the base, Heracles picks off Plobits. And Loam does manage to pick the Marine that rotates back. So now, yet again, there's a Skulk in the base. Nothing's gonna happen about it. And in fact, Rusty found his way down into ET, so pulling some aliens back pulls them off that consistent pressure Marines have been facing. And Wake's luck backs off out of the platform node. Does go back in for the bites though. Does manage to take down one of these Marines, goes extremely low to the second one, 35 health. Now Loam on res. Leaves 2 Marines to deal with the Gorge, and Gorge is gonna rotate back. He really doesn't need to be rotating back. He should have been helping in this fight, because Rusty on the respawn has the ability to defend that RT. At least it shouldn't be necessary to rotate backwards. But again, these Marines just quite a lot of 1v1 engagements being taken, or 2v1s favoring Skulks. It's just putting them on the back foot. They do have armor 2 on the way, although I don't know what the time on it is. And Loam's found a mine in the base. Like I said, there's the security they got for that. Gotcha, empty some bullets onto Babblers. He's trying really hard to not waste his shots onto the Gorge, but that just makes the Skulk even stronger. Ploybits might be able to kill this RT. Spring is coming back. I think, actually, Tuts is on the way as well. Unless he kills it, it's not going to die. A Star is now up in the Marine base. And Awake's opting to maybe take this fight. He's got Heracles as support. And Heracles is the only one that dies. Now this is, yeah. This is greed, I think. I think it shows the state at which this game is in. Unfortunately, this Marine team does still nearly kill Loam's Fade. And in fact, Wake just goes down to Gotcha over in Ore. Alright, so this hive might not be going up. However, I'm pretty sure Heracles is now fading. Pretty sure that both ET and server room hives will be going up. This hive does die. Rusty and Gotcha. And again, they do get cleaned up. But they were fighting Fades, and Fades really should be winning that fight. At least against the Rifles. Plobits has found the server room hive, and Heracles has found him, and Heracles has nearly died as well. At this point, I think Loam is just bullying, and Rusty probably could have just killed the Gorge. Heracles eats a mine, Loam eats a mine. And there's no bile bomb here, so Tuts is just here for spits and healing. As the Fade does manage to escape the main base. And Heracles, I don't even know. Heracles is ambushing with a Fade before there's even a Marine nearby. So, lots of biomass on the way for the alien team. They're up to 6, 7. We might see advanced swipe for the Fades. We might not. We might just see more biomass pumped out. Because they are sitting very comfortably on 6 RTs and have been for 4 minutes. The Marines aren't having the best of time winning their fights, as they're getting spawn camped now by 2 life forms, a Skulk and a Gorge. I guess that's technically 3 life forms. The beacon comes out and touches in an egg. Whoa, that could have been an interesting way to die. Heracles takes quite a bit of damage there. Does manage to escape though. And Spring opts to bite a power node to score himself some extra points to get up that scoreboard. Xenocide is the opted tech. It is on the way. As is Biomass 10, which means contamination will pretty much be the end of this game. And in fact, Loam just goes down to Pycat in North Tunnels. And Wake is also going to go down in Warehouse. But at this point, I'm pretty sure they're throwing life forms for one specific thing. And that is they're about to Xenocide Skull Crush this Marine base. And there's your pain train. Although these mines might have the alternative effect, where every Skulk just leaps into this and gets blown up. And there it is. And there's the contamination. Heracles takes out all the mines in base with that Xenocide. Probits has somehow managed to avoid death. But at this point, Marines, I think the game is gonna be over. They will probably kill this hive. Spring's detonating himself early. In fact, these Skulks are actually atrocious users of Xenocide. Heracles, the only one managing to kill anything at all, being an IP, by the way. Marines have nowhere to spawn. So once they're cleaned up, that's going to be game. Probits and Unknown finding themselves down in shipping, welding the hive. And Tuds is up as a fade, apparently. That doesn't have Xenocide. As Heracles cleans up the Marine base with Xenocide, taking out the arms lab. And that puts an end to map number 1. Is this a best of 2, 3? It's a best of 3, right? I think. So yeah, it's a best of 3. Obviously, they tried, but there is a bit of a skill level difference there. Which, you know, it's gonna happen at some points. Are we changing map now? I don't understand this tournament, okay? I don't know if we're playing another map or what, because I don't pay attention to things. But yeah, Code of Misconduct, take that one pretty handily and have some fun in the process. Although we are now on Mineral, so maybe we are, I don't even know. Who knows? I don't. But this is where the story is. Unfortunately, Marines just couldn't get their grips on the game. One of the many differences between playing at the top and being very new to competitive is that you might just get bullied a bit. But there's only one way to get better, and it is to, unfortunately, get killed. It is GG's. But then Heracles says it's a best of 5. So, quite frankly, who knows? It's a good job I'm not a ref. Anyway, that sums that game up. I don't know when the next game is. Do I just sit on this nice waiting screen for hours on end? Who even is the next game supposed to be between? So Code of Misconduct is supposed to be playing against Nazi Hunter. You know what? I'm like, I don't know what's next. But look, we have this nice little challenge thing. Look at that. This is great. Imagine if I remembered that I had these things. Probably better on the black background though, right? You know. So yeah. Code of Misconduct will be versus Nazi Hunter. And the winner of Icelandic Volcano and California Burrito will be up against NSL Comp Mod Council. And then in the lower bracket, we've got Snaky Skulks versus Spectacular Gorges. Which I guess means that whoever loses Icelandic Volcano and California Burrito gets a nice little respite. No, they don't. I've lied. Wait, what? I'm so confused. It's very difficult to read this on the tiny stream I'm looking at it on. You know what? You can read a bracket. I can't. We'll find out. Someone will tell me. I'll just be like, yeah, dude, let's watch this game. You know? By the looks of it, nobody has any idea what we're doing anyway. Like, I'm pretty sure this is a best of 3 as well, Barnes. I really don't know where we're going or what's happening. Here I am just trying to figure things out while not tabbing out of the game. Or shift tabbing. The downside to using capture cards. So we're figuring it out as we go on my phone. What I should do is stop this recording, however. Because, no need to record this.